My wife keeps asking me to stop whipping these out in front of her, but she's not around right now, so. What are they? The MICCA Covo S cube speaker. So what are we doing today? We're doing a review on the MICCA Covo S cube speaker. MICCA gives these a rating of 90 hertz all the way up to 20,000 hertz, 6 to 8 ohms impedance, 50 watts power handling, 83 dB sensitivity. What I ended up getting out of them was at 125 hertz, you would hear a noise. 160 hertz, you would hear a noise starting to resemble what would be intended to sound like bass. At 180 hertz, that's about where I'd rate them. Might be generous, but fair. And they rolled off at 14,000 hertz as well. So I was getting a fair rating of 180 hertz to 14,000 hertz. A little bit different than the 90 hertz to 20,000 hertz they give them, but that's pretty much just industry standard. So they are inefficient. I wouldn't call them hard to drive because you're not driving them loud. You're playing them at a low volume, maybe medium volume, carefully. But I wouldn't say they're hard to drive because you're not making a lot of noise with them. For the sound on these, it's not bad. It's okay. So obviously you're not getting any bass. Let's clear that out of the air right here. And you shouldn't expect to get bass from a $50 pair of concentric 3-inch driver speakers. The reason I like these is because I can appreciate what they do well and it's what they don't do well. What they do well is the mids. They're not terrible. They're acceptable for what they are. They're acceptable. They're better than the Amazon bookshelf speakers I just reviewed. They are. The mids are better. The highs are rolled off, very soft sound there. A lot of people would say is a weakness, but for what these would be used for, which would be low quality recordings anyway, or maybe television use, it's perfectly acceptable. In fact, using these for watching YouTube videos was quite nice. They took the edge off of the poor recordings of the YouTubers. They took the obnoxious edge off of the obnoxious commercials that obnoxiously run, that are intentionally made to be obnoxious to a degree. They made them less obnoxious. That was kind of fun to listen to for that use. So for YouTube videos, I would actually highly recommend these. Again, no bass though. So could you use these for Atmos speakers? I'm sure a lot of people are asking themselves that when they come to a speaker review on these particular speakers, and I would probably say, no, for two reasons. First reason is they don't play loud comfortably. During the testing, there was a fatality. One of the Covo speakers developed a certain static distortion that comes and goes. I'm under the impression that my room correction may have caused this. The sound sweeps they play are very loud, louder than I would play the speaker at. And I'm wondering if the sound sweep pushed it a little too far and gave it issue. So that could be a risky run when you run these as an Atmos, is that your room correction could be asking too much of them during the calibration process. And then the other reason would be that they just don't sparkle enough. For what is usually included into an Atmos soundtrack, it would be like rain, glass breaking, lightning, the kind of thing. It's not main stage, and I don't think that these are going to be able to reproduce the types of sounds you want from an Atmos soundtrack in a way that's going to benefit anything above what you would have at your level. I I couldn't imagine a set of surround speakers that you own that wouldn't overpower these as far as treble goes, to a point where these would just be negligible anyway. So can't recommend them for Atmos. That's what I bought them originally to use them for. Didn't do much for me. So no highs, no lows. Must be those. They're not bad though. I would say that, you know, like I said, YouTube video watching, great. They have their strengths. The mid-range is strong. I can appreciate the highs being soft and rolled off for a lot of, you know, practical purposes. And the fact that they don't have bass is not something I would count as a fail, simply because you're not finding bass in $50 concentric driver 3-inch speakers. Okay, and you're probably not finding bass in a lot of speakers in that price range, no matter the setup, at least not accurate bass. So you might as well leave it up to your subwoofer and just forget about bass entirely, which these do. That's a win. So before you go buy these, consider everything I've said. Consider your use for them. Will they work for you or not? That's up for you to decide. But I hope that the information I've presented is somewhat beneficial to your decision-making process. And that's all I got. Stay safe. If you like this kind of thing, you know, do the thing. If you don't, man, get in that comment section and let the world know how you feel. You go get them, all right? Don't hold back. Don't be scared. We want to hear it.